Hello everyone and welcome back to Diablo 2 Resurrected. So, I do want to mention a couple things. I was mentioning in the previous part how I wasn't entirely sure how they implemented it for the console version. So, I actually went ahead and grabbed Diablo 2 Resurrected on my PS account. Part of that is because what we learned from Diablo 3 on consoles is that it's actually a good idea to go ahead and grab it for long-term thinking down the line. I know that sounds strange, but what I mean by that is, you guys know how Diablo 3 has that always online component, which is kind of annoying, and we wish they would just get rid of it, that it doesn't have to require the always online thing in order for it to run. Because it's done nothing positive for the game, and it has continued to stay, even though there's no reason for it to stay, and they have shown that they can go ahead and get rid of it if they want to, because that's what they did with it in the console version of the game. And it kind of made you go, well, if, let's say, down the line when they decide to officially stop supporting the game and they shut the servers down or whatever, I would like to still be able to play the game offline without, requiring the online connection. Because you could do that today with Diablo 2. Even though they have stopped supporting that game, I know, and I'm not talking about this version, I'm talking about the original version before it came out. You could still play it if you wanted. Being able to actually play online and such, that's not really something you can do anymore, not necessarily. But I hope you guys are getting my point here about that. The point I'm trying to make is that I know some people that purposely bought Diablo 3 on consoles, including the Nintendo Switch, because they wanted a version of Diablo 3 to be able to play when they that doesn't require online connection. Especially if that eventually happens someday, which it probably will. And, oh gosh, what was that? So because of that, that's why not only have I, I'm glad to have that version for Diablo 3, but that's why I also wanted to go ahead and grab it for Diablo 2 to be able to have that version. But I was also curious to check it out and see what that version was like, to see how it runs, what the interface is like and such. And I would say it's a good version of the game to be able to pick up and play if that's perhaps your only avenue. Whether you want to play it on consoles or PC, that's up to you. But I think the console version seems to be just fine. This mode right here runs just fine on consoles. It runs a little differently. You'll also notice something different as well. Because of that version, I went ahead and investigated some of the options to be able to make it a little better. You'll notice the minimap is now on the top right corner. I thought it covering the screen was like the only way to use that. Maybe it was back then, but now you can actually move where you want the minimap to be. You can either have it covering the full screen, you can either have it on the top left or on the top right. It was automatically at the top right like this when I tried the PS4 version, and I really like that. So that way I can be able to look at it without it covering anything here on the screen, because it was getting a little annoying it covering up the screen. Whereas I would prefer to be able to have it separate here, so I could be able to not have it cover up the actual appearance of the game and such. And the controls were fine, the way it was laid out, and it was a little odd for a couple things, though, like you had to be able to hold down a button to confirm spending a skill point and such. So there were a couple things that were a little different compared to just simply clicking on it, but at the same time I understand why that's probably a thing by default, because from what I understand, some people, one of the things that they didn't like was that, let's say they misclicked on here, and you basically spent a point on something you didn't mean to as you were looking at it. You actually oh, I misclicked here, and well, you start a new character, because it's not like in Diablo 3 where you can just go ahead and switch up your skills and such at will whenever you want. You actually would have to go to, in the case of Act 1, you'd have to go over here to Akara and ask her to be able to let you respec, which I've already talked about. But it was just one of those, when I saw how it ran, seeing some of these options here, which I realized all I had to really do was go over here to gameplay, and I could be able to actually change some of these things, like being able to toggle instead of hold down the button to show the items on the screen. I can be able to toggle that. And you have all these different things here. Auto gold pickup is a thing that you can do now, because you used to have to click on the gold all the time, which annoyed me, compared to how it is in Diablo 3, where I can just have a pet to go ahead and do that. But hey, if I can just go ahead and auto pick it up as I run by it, I'm fine with that too. You can be able to, of course, change different things here for the interface as well. You know, there's a colorblind mode, which is great for those who have that. Stuff for the controller. Here's the stuff for the auto map, though, where you can actually be able to go ahead and choose where you want it on the screen, how much visible you want it up and over there as well. So there's a number of really good options here, and this is something that they didn't have back then, because let me go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about. You go to Legacy. This was the options right here. This was it. This is what I was talking about when I was praising the amount of extra sliders for audio and video and such, because this is what it was like back then. You just had sound and music. And sound would usually basically cover everything, all the sound effects and all the voices and everything. So, yeah, it was just kind of like, you know, they put all of it into one slider, which is the way it used to be back then, and some games did, and I'm really glad that when they've been actually trying to remake these games or give them remasters, that they are actually adding extra sliders for various different things for those who want to mess around with that. I still cannot believe that Infamous, one of my favorite games on the PlayStation, didn't have a audio option for the music. That still bothers me to this day, and I've been waiting for them to remake that game just so they could add more options here, like being able to affect how loud the music in the game is. It was something that irritated me to no end when I checked that out. And you can see this is how the options were back then. Just showing these to compare, compared to how it is nowadays. So, like I said, I wanted to give praise to that. By the way, there is one thing, though, I discovered that is apparently not on the console version. This right here, the zoom option. I didn't seem to be able to actually find a control to be able to do this zoom option, which I'm very surprised at. I mean, I know, you know, sometimes console versions of games are a little limited in terms of what they can actually do when it comes to features and controls and such, but it just kind of seems interesting that they made sure that this Legacy appearance got in here, but they couldn't be able to work in a zoom feature like this. I just find that very interesting. They couldn't be able to do this here on the consoles. Oh well. You know, you give and take. You know, sometimes you got to give and take, right? So, anyways, now that we have discussed that, what do you guys say we go pay a visit to someone we used to be able to actually play as, who unfortunately has had something pretty horrible happen to her. Let me take this guy down so I can be able to get my skeleton army back up. There we go. Go, minions, go. Clear the path for me! Just to double check. 3 skeletons. I've switched out my weapon, so that extra skill point in raised skeletons is gone, in case you're curious. It was that wand that dropped from me earlier. I was like, okay, so it has extra damage undead, poison resist, fast cast rate. This is just until I'm able to get back to using the other weapon that I have stored away. So, anyways, let's do this for a bit, shall we? Rakanishu! Boy, the minimap looks different here. Look at that. Look at the road here on the minimap. Oh, the pixels. Boy, this takes me back. This era. I remember it so well. Like I said, I grew up in the era of the SNES and the N64, so I remember what this was like very, very well. Notice the bones circling him. Boy, I'll tell you what, it's, earlier today, I was messing around with, my main in Diablo 3, my wizard. And, I'll tell you what, it makes me want to, try a straight-up fire build, like probably a Hydra build. Like, I know you can go with, like, Firewall and Blaze and such, but I've always liked the idea of Hydras, and I've heard that being able to just set up a bunch of Hydras where they just, like, you know, are like turrets just attacking everything. I've heard that can actually be pretty fun on a sorceress. Anyways, the reason I bring that up is because I was playing on my sorceress, or not, I'm sorry, my wizard, and I ended up finishing collecting the Firebird set, which was a big deal because I was able to get the last set bonus, which, let's just say I'm able to melt enemies in seconds, even on Torment 10. I don't know if I'm ever going to reach that point. Oh, this guy is immune to fire. Ooh. Ooh, he dropped some yellows. Let's drink a potion, shall we? It's a little rough right now, but just wait till I get some skeletal mages and a golem. Just haven't leveled up enough yet. But we will. Oh, we will. So, here's the waypoint. It's interesting how this is one of those games where I don't recall if it was the first to have waypoints in it, but it's definitely one of those you think of that kind of helps set the trend of the idea of waypoints throughout the world for fast traveling. Kind of like how they do with the flight paths in games like World of Warcraft, or what are they called? The Eagle Vision things in Assassin's Creed. You know, where you climb up to the top, you have the thing circle around with the eagle, and then you leap of faith off of it. Yeah, those things. Yeah. It, you know, just, you can't help but still kind of refer to those things to this day, when games like this helped kind of set that as a thing you could do. Of course, I have Scroll Town Portal. I'll go ahead and use this one. We'll go ahead and grab that one, too. Huh. I just realized I don't have a buckler. There we go. I don't have something in my other hand. I'll grab that buckler just to have something else there. I'm also realizing I keep pressing the button to hold it down. I'm going to have to break that habit now that I have the toggle up and running. So let's go ahead and...
Good evening.
I'm only doing this until we get Deckard Cain. Once we get Cain, I won't have to do this again, because I can just go to him and have him identify it. Because, of course, I will. I'll talk more about something that you could actually do, which kind of shocked me. I was like, really? You could do that? When we get there. But hey, this is, yeah, there we go. Enhanced defense, energy, cold resist, fire resist. Not bad, not bad. That's, of course, for the sorceress, which I will go ahead and... Boy, this is very reminiscent of what I can do in Diablo 3. I'll stash this away for my other character. I've been collecting a number of things for other classes, can you tell? Stuff for my Amazon, my Paladin, my Assassin, my Sorceress, just... it's such a habit thing that I've gotten from playing Diablo 3 so much. So... Was that better than the other cap that I had before? Let's see. Enhanced defense. Defense 14. Repairs to 1 durability in 33 seconds, so it keeps repairing itself. I think this one is going to eventually be better, so... But we'll go ahead and use this for now. Charcy, go ahead and repair this for me, please. Thank you. Alright. There's a scroll identify right here. Derp. I'm so glad I discovered that I could put it up here in the corner as opposed to having it just cover the screen. So these are Dark Spear women, Dark Spear women, who are, you know, those that I believe they are supposed to be like dark rogues have been corrupted by not necessarily Bloodraven, because she's one of those who's been corrupted, but by Andariel. Jewel. Huh. Skeletons! I'm under attack! Defend your master! Whoops. What did I pick up? Two-handed staff. That's for the sorceress. Nah. You know, I've heard that some people would have a tendency to just kind of try to blaze through this as fast as they could, and would probably reach Act 2 at, like, level 10 or such. I don't know if I could find myself being able to do that. That just sounds like you're skipping a bunch of stuff. Like, throughout my time playing Diablo games, I just have this tendency to not want to skip anything, because there's a number of optional areas that you can find that could be able to drop who knows what, be able to also provide you a lot more XP, so you can be able to get more access to skills. When I did my test run and beat Act 1 on Necro, I was level 16, which I don't know if that's apparently common or not, but it seemed common, at least for someone like me, who tends to play Diablo games in this style of, I want to explore everywhere in the act and be able to go into all the optional areas and be able to take down as many enemies and open as many things as I can, because you never know what you're going to find. Plus, it's more XP to help me level faster. I've heard that, of course, when you get higher level, your XP does slow down to a crawl, but, I mean, that's basically the same way it was in Diablo 3 as well. Where, yeah, you're going to level fast in the first 10 levels and reach level 10 pretty fast, but from level 60 to 70, it does slow down to a crawl, which of course is very expected. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and also do this one. Huh. Requirements minus 15%. That's one of those, it's like with the... it's like with Miriam in D3, where she can let you be able to add an enchantment of reducing the item level requirement of that item down to like level 1 or such. That's what that sounds like. Alright. You know, even in D3, I wasn't too fond of teeth. Maybe it's a little better in this one, but it was just kind of like, eh, for me. I'm definitely curious about trying out certain curses. I imagine certain curses make doing boss fights in this game easier, because some of these are definitely for groups of enemies, like a group of monsters like will cause damage themselves. But, Lower resist. I imagine that's pretty good for certain bosses, especially if you are grouped up with the sorceress, because then you can make it where she can be able to, Ooh, the maximum resistance of hostile players. Ah, that's right, because PvP was the thing in this. Skeleton Mastery, life and damage of raised skeletons and revived creatures. It can also affect magi and monsters. Well, I believe we are now level 5, which means next level we can be able to get our golem. The next level for this, it's still going to be 3 skeletons total, but they are going to be stronger. They get an extra amount of health, attack rating, damage, and defense, and their mana cost does go up a bit, though. Let's go with Skeleton Mastery. Just make them stronger. There we go. I'm trying to make the strength requirement not a thing. I'm trying to really help get rid of that. Kind of tired of, like, oh, you don't have the strength to wield this. Let's go back to the waypoint, because I believe there might be at least 1 or 2 things I can now equip. Let's go ahead and grab this staff so we can go sell it. I'll grab a rejuvenation potion. Those are pretty nice. Being able to restore both health and mana. Just nothing. Completely empty. Aha. Alright, so now I can go ahead and switch this out. And I can be able to get this back. Being able to add attack speed, extra damage, and attack rating, and cold resist. I'm going to go ahead and actually store this away, see if another character can go ahead and use that. And I'm going to go ahead and also store this away too, since I don't really have an item with a socket to be able to take advantage of that, so...
Good to see you.
Aha. Man, these charms take up space in here. Oh, man. But I like not only the lightning resist, but the extra gold. What? I like having more gold. The buckler isn't a big deal. I'm just kind of holding this until I'm able to equip that head that I've got in my stash. Yeah, the moment I see one of these shamans, I just beeline for him. I'm like, nope! I'm not gonna let you cast a revive the whole time. I just charge straight into enemies to take out the shaman. It's kind of like in D3 when you see a treasure goblin, you're like, ah, treasure goblin! You beeline for him regardless of the enemies are in your way. Gem! Interesting. It says it's supposed to be a... Oh, this is the mana one I just grabbed. I thought it was the other one down there on the minimap. Nope, never mind. Here it is. Stamina Shrine, yeah! I know it's boring that right now all I'm doing is just whacking them with a weapon as a Necro. Like, later on I'll be able to get stuff like Bone Spear that I can just be able to cast at them while my army is, you know, attacking them, tanking for me. I just love that I can be able to get XP from my skeletons attacking and killing everything. And they'll just go chase everything and kill it. And I can just kind of make sure I stay alive while they kill everything. And this is going to be even better when I just make my army even larger with Golem and Skeletal Mages. And of course, more skeletons chasing around. Did I talk about the run button and the stamina bar? So, wait, no, I think I did, yeah. I do wish I could make the map a little larger for a moment, just to make sure I've gotten the whole map actually uncovered. The burial grounds.
Too many empty graves.
Hungry Dead. I believe there's also a couple of optional areas over here. I'm guessing she's gonna be like right in here. There she is.
Join my army of the dead.
Sorry, but I've got my own. Oh, Oh, gosh.
Not enough mana.
I'll fix that. Ow. So yeah, this is the rogue that we could be able to play back then. I need to be careful because she's making me green. I'll be green a lot in Act 2, just a heads up. Get back here.
I need mana.
Hold on, let me get my shield up. Poor Blood Raven.
Blood Raven. Rest well. So normally we'd go head back to turn these in. However, there's a couple of optional areas over here that we can go into, like the mausoleum. Oh yeah, the barrels can contain stuff but they could also hurt, like explode and such. Oh, okay. I hope you like seeing me green, because I've heard it's going to happen a lot in Act 2. I've heard poison damage in the original game was very unbalanced. Ooh. Raven Carapace. It's nice if I didn't already have that set piece. But I'll stash that away. I'm sure there's another character I have that could use that. Oh, a possessed skeleton. And a champion skeleton. Gordrul the Sharp. Fire enchanted. Lovely. Yes, fire can hurt you. Ooh! Golem! Alright, so F3. There's the clay golem. He looks kind of like the Abomination from the Incredible Hulk.
I am overburdened.
Like I said, the scrolls of identify are not going to be a big deal when, like, they're basically going to be worthless once we get Cain. Certain items actually require a dexterity rating, but I don't know if that's going to be the case with the Necro. I feel like what I'm going to need more so now, though, is vitality. Just more health and more stamina. More health. Because I'm probably going to need it as we continue. Just my hunch. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I like finding gold. So yeah, now that we've gotten to this level, we're able to get Clay Golem. If we wanted, we could be able to, because we had to wait until we were level 7, it looks like. Yeah, because I'm level 6. So some of these require you to be up a certain level, so we would be able to, could get Corpse Explosion if we want to, or Poison Dagger. We could also be able to pick up Dim Vision, which reduces their vision radius, and reduce the amount of damage that they inflict. So... I wonder, I think I heard that you can have only one curse active at a time. So I doubt I'd be able to put, like, multiple curses on bosses. Unless that's something that actually can be changed later. I don't know. Before we go into the crypt... let's do this, because...
Good day.
Kasia has something she wants to say.
I can hardly believe that you've defeated Bloodraven. Though she was once my closest friend, I pray that her tortured spirit remains banished forever. You have earned my respect, stranger, and the allegiance of the rogues. I have placed several of my best warriors at your disposal.
So, this is now where we get a merc to join us. This was basically the introduction to the companion system that we would have improved upon in Diablo 3 with Cormac, Irena, and... oh gosh, the Scoundrel. I forget his... I'm blanking on his name. But you guys know what I'm talking about. The Templar, the Scoundrel, and the Enchantress. The 3 companions we have in Diablo 3. Because we can actually be able to get this merc. We have one in a few different acts. In Act 1, it's a Amazon type who is able to have a bow, and you can be able to put a helm and a armor chest piece on her. And she also comes with a couple of different abilities, like Inner Sight, which illuminates nearby enemies, making them easier for you to hit, and Fire Arrow. Now, that's what she has. Now, I could talk to Kasia and hit higher,
And then you can be able to actually select any of these other different ones that she has available, which can have different abilities. Now, it looks like all of them have inner sight, but some of the other ones could have a different type of ability or buff or arrow. Like some of these have fire arrows, some of these have cold arrows. So it really kind of depends on what you want to get. I think I've heard that they do this better in other acts. I've heard some say that the ones in Act 2 are the best mercs in the game, but that's kind of an opinion thing. I'm sure some will say that about others, but I think in Act 2 you can get kind of a paladin. In Act 3, I think you can... I forget what you can get. I think it's assassins. And then Act 5, you can be able to pick up barbarians. So it kind of makes sense considering the locations that we're at, when you think about it.
I can hardly believe that you...
Oh, sorry.
Where can I take you? You've done well, stranger. I hope all your efforts are worth it.
We'll see.
Good evening. Some of those gals weren't so nice the first time around.
Good evening.
But yeah, it looks like this one's name is Anor. We'll see how long she lasts. She'll probably make it to Andariel and then die. Kara. Hey. Hey, Kara. Hey. I've heard you can drag them around quite a bit.
It is clear that we are facing an evil difficult to comprehend, let alone combat. There is only one Haradrim sage, schooled in the most arcane history and lore, who could advise us. His name is Deckard Cain. You must go to Tristram and find him, my friend.
Yeah.
Pray that he still lives.
He does. For now. It's okay, he's got another 20 years to live. Oh. I just made myself sad. You know what I'm curious about? I don't think I've ever looked this up, but you notice how some of these are chipped. Now, Diablo 3 has the same type of thing with gems. The thing is, what I like is that they have the system with Covetous Shen that he is able to actually combine them into better versions of those gems. Is that a thing you can do in this game? I hope so, because it seems like I'm collecting a lot of chipped gems, and I'm wondering if like that's going to be able to something like if I collect enough I can actually make them better versions. I don't know. I hope so. That'd be nice. That's one of the things I liked about that system from Diablo 3, is that I was able to actually combine them and such, but anyways. So. We need to go through the underground passage, the dark woods, and search for the tree, and recover the scroll so we can be able to actually find Cain. But before we do that, though, what do you see we go finish up that other area over here? The crypt.
Uh-oh. Bone Breaker. Extra strong and magic resistant. Huh. Number of things I don't really need. I'll take the scroll identify and use that on this. 30% extra gold for monsters. Mana after each kill. I like that. I'll stash that away. I'm sure I can give that to another character. I can't help it if that's my mentality after basically years of playing Diablo 3, and I was like, yeah, I could give that to another character. I like having alts. What do you want from me? It's not really, my kind of thing to just play one single character and never any others. I like trying out multiple classes and characters. What? Ooh. Oozehorn, cold enchanted. Ah! Well, that's just spiteful. Okay, looks like that's it. In that case... Alright, so... we did those optional areas there. When we return, we'll be heading out to find a tree so we can try and hopefully find our good old buddy, Deckard Cain. Stay tuned.